How's it going, guys? So I'm about to head off to work here, but I figured I'd walk you through my pre-ride check, and so let's go through it. All right, so the first thing I always check is the back tire here. Check the pressure, which I did yesterday, and that you'll find your pressure rating on your tires. Mine is actually right up here, but you can also find it in your owner's manual, and it's also based on weight too. So. Look in your manual for the right pressures and stuff like that, but make sure you check your pressure. Yeah, so second thing you want to look for in your tire is the wear pattern on here. Mine is actually worn down quite a bit. You'll actually see that in here, these are not nearly as deep as they're supposed to be. They should be about this deep, but they're actually really, really shallow right here, which means that this area is worn on the tire, which is normal. That is the center of the tire, so it does get a lot more wear than the outer edges, and that'll be the first part to wear down. So you gotta watch your wear pattern. If that ever flattens out, you lose the profile of the tire, which compromises your handling, and just a bad idea, really. Also, on wear, you should be looking for little knobs on the side of the tire. See if I can find one here that you can see. Right here. Right in here, there is a little triangle on here, and that means that on that line across the tire, there's a little bump in there. It looks like a mosquito bite. I can't see it on the camera here, but it looks like a mosquito bite on there. Basically, if you ever get to the point where you can see that run straight across, that means your tire is worn and you need to get rid of it. Usually I will replace my tires before they even flat, or before they become flat on top here. So either way, this one's starting to lose its profile, so it should be kind of rounded like that, but mine's kind of rounded up and then goes flat and then goes down again. So either way, it's time to replace that. Second thing I check on the back here, my chain. I'll usually start right here by pulling the chain. If you pull the chain and it comes off, like comes back out that way, then you need to replace your chain. It's too loose, and it means that a lot of the pins are basically stretched out. Second thing on the chain, you want to make sure you have enough slack in it, and not too much slack. The maximum slack you should have on this is 1.5 inches for my bike. Again, check your manual. And basically, it shouldn't be able to touch the swing arm, which it's not. So that's good. Check your gears. Make sure it's not loose. I mean, well, it is loose, but there's not too much play in it, so it doesn't shift back and forth. It's not feeling like it's gonna fall off, so it's good. All right, so moving to the front now, we'll check our levers actually. So check your levers. Make sure your clutch works. So you can actually hear it engage on the other side. You can actually see it pull too right in here. So if I squeeze the lever, you'll see that move, so that's good. So make sure you have smooth movement. It's not sticking. And do the same thing with your brake. So you can actually hear it click there. Alright, so levers are good. You may want to check your cables every once in a while, but they're not necessary for every pre-ride. So mirrors are intact, so that's good. You want to check your front tire for the exact same wear patterns. Your front tire won't wear down nearly as fast as your back tire because your back tire takes basically all the abuse. So your front tire will usually last quite a bit longer than your front tire will usually last quite a bit longer than your back tire. Yeah, so your front tire, look for the same thing. Again, you want to see if it's wearing down too much in certain areas. This one seems like it's doing good, so far so good. The second part, I actually had to put down the camera here, but you have to make sure that when you rock the front tire and are holding on to this, like your bars, so you hold your bars up here, like so, and then you grab your tire and you shake it kind of like, and you see if there's any play. Now, if there's any play in the front tire, when you pull it, when you rock the tire front and back, and the bar doesn't move, and you feel a bit of movement, then you need to have your axle looked at. It's definitely loose and it needs to be adjusted. Or there's actually play in the headset up here. So either way, things that you have to have looked at if you feel play in there. And other than that, you want to check your lights. See if I have running lights here, and I do. And then you check your brake lights. So the best way to check your brake lights, put your hand behind your light, press down, and you see it come on. Do the same thing with the front brake. So we'll grab that. And again. Okay, so everything works. There's my plate number if you want it. Shouldn't have given you that, but either way. And well, other than that, that's pretty well my pre-ride check. So everything's intact, everything's good to ride, and we're all set. So happy riding.